Hello, ma'am. Am I audible? Ma'am, you are not audible. Sorry for this. You are not audible. Okay, wait a second. Wait a second. Just wait, ma'am. Yeah. Hello.
Hello, yeah,
Yeah.
am I audible?
Yeah. 100%.
Okay. So my name is Ritika, and today I'll be taking your interview for the role of academic specialist.
Okay, ma'am.
So can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, myself, Mohammed Saad, and I belong to District Mohd, that is in Uttar Pradesh. And basically, I'm from education background, and I have been in this education field from past 10 years. Now, I have completed my high school from Aligarh Public School, that is placed in Aligarh, and after that, I gave the competition for Aligarh Muslim University for PCB stream, and I was selected over there. That was the start of my journey in Aligarh Muslim University. I did my plus two, 10 plus 2 from there in PCB. Then after that, I joined BSc Honors Zoology over there. I was selected over there, and I completed my BSc Honors Zoology from Aligarh Muslim University. Then I gave the competition for Masters in Biotechnology, and at that time there were only 14 students who were being selected for one batch. So I was amongst those 14, and I did my masters and passed in 2011 with distinction. And then after what happened, I was interested in doing research, but due to some reason over there, I was not able to get into it. So I decided to start my career in teaching basically. And then I just joined a few coachings, but still I was interested in doing research. I was contacting the professors and all. But after that, when I realized that B.Ed is necessary for teaching, so I did my B.Ed in 2017-19 from Akbari Begum School of College of Education, that is affiliated with Lucknow University, and I completed with B.Ed in 2019.
Okay, that's great. So can you please tell me why do you want to join Byju's?
Actually, Byju's itself is a reason. Means, for example, if any teacher if any educator, he or she wants to excel or want to utilize his or her skill in any organization so that it can reform or polish himself or herself, and also it can give a great boost for that organization. So I think the Byju's is a place for me. It's a tech company for me where I can excel more and I can give my best to the tech company, that is Byju.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you working somewhere at present?
Yeah, actually, I am working in my own institute. I started this from Aligarh. And I started this from Aligarh when I realized that I have to go into the teaching field. So this was a start. There was a reason behind that, because when I joined many coachings and all, so the reason was that they always target the toppers, and I am the one who always said to them that why you are only targeting the toppers, because everyone is paying the fees. So there must be some curriculum design so that each and every student must be benefited. So that was the start. Then I realized that I will start my own way. I can apply my own teaching skills. I can apply my own concepts. And that was the start of Azizia teaching, where I'm in. And after that, in 2016, and my father met with an accident. So that was the reason I shifted from Aligarh to Mohd. I'm living in a town area right now. And there I have started, and I started serving to the town students over here. And in the pandemic, I got a very great opportunity for being online. And I did many workshops and learned many techniques, many softwares, many apps, And all those things I'm utilizing right now to give the innovating teachings to the student over here. Right now, I'm in my own institute, basically, that is Azizia Tui'ching.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you please tell me what do you understand about the job profile for which you have applied?
Yeah, I understood that I have to teach the students, that is in the online mode. Obviously, that will be an online mode. And there are two options. I think that is I have to go to Bangalore over there. That is for Bangalore. And also there is work from home opportunity. Also, there was in the bracket written over there. So I have to teach the students online. I have to fulfill the responsibility of clearing their doubts, and I have to teach them whatever be the best strategy for them, so that it would be easier for them and it would help them to score good in their subjects.
Yes, in
Yeah.
this job role of academic specialist, you
Yeah.
will be expected to conduct online science classes
Yeah.
for grade 4th to 10th,
Yeah.
and you will be expected to teach physics, chemistry, and biology till 8th grade. And for
Yes.
higher grades, which is 9th and 10th, you can take up one subject from physics, chemistry, or biology.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
And in today's interview, you would be required to give a short demo on the topic of your choice,
Okay.
followed by a verbal question and answer round.
Okay.
So, shall we start with the demo now?
Demo. I have to give means verbal demo. Nothing I have to use.
Yes. Anything that is comfortable for you. If you want to use any pen or paper or whiteboard, that would be okay. If you don't have anything, that is also absolutely fine.
No, I
You can
have.
just give it
I am
verbally.
prepared with it with the board digital board. So I have to share my screen. As
No.
you say.
If you have any whiteboard or any blackboard, that will do. But digital for digital writing, I won't be able to allow you to share my screen with you.
Okay. Okay.
So verbal explanation would do.
Okay. Okay. So today I'll start with the topic that is cell. So shall I start?
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay. So when we listen a word cell, so what's come in our mind? Because we know that all the living organism that we see around, what we see around the matter. Means the matter which are the living things and the matter which are also the non-living components. So these cells are the basic and fundamental unit of life, because life is seen in living organism. For example, when we look into the universe, as I said earlier, that this universe, basically it is made up of two components. One is the living component and one is non-living component. And as we know that matter is anything that has mass and occupies space. And earlier we have also seen that the matter is particulate in nature, means they are made up of particles. So every matter is made up of particles, whether that is a living component and whether it is a non-living component. So if we are focusing on a living component, so why we call cell as a basic unit of life? So we have to move a slide backward. As we know, an atom comprises of electron, proton, and neutron. Now these atoms, when they are combined in a fixed ratio, they makes up the molecules, and the molecules are itself a non-living component. But those molecules which are found in the living organisms, those are called as biomolecules. For example, the protein, the carbohydrate, the fat, the nucleic acids. So when these biomolecules combine, they create a vital force and they create an organized structure. That is what the cell is, and the life starts from here. So that's why we call cell a basic unit of life. Means if any matter is having a cell, it will be having a life. And if any matter is not having a cell, so it will not be having a life. We are not talking about the dead organism, that we will see later. Now, if we see in detail from where it came, so we have to see the discovery. Means the cell was discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665, and he modified the microscope, which is said that microscopes are invented by Zacharias Janssen. He was a Dutch spectacle maker, and the Robert Hooke, he modified the microscope according to his studies, and he observed the dead tissues, that is cork, and he sliced it and he observed under the microscope and he found a very beautiful honeycomb like structure, little rooms, and that's why he called them cellula. That's a Latin term which means a little room. So from there we have a term that is cell. Later on, many scientists came like A.V. Leeuwenhoek in 1674, and what he did, he observed the first living cell. So if anybody is asking to you that who was the scientist who observed the first living cell, so Robert Hooke is not the answer. The answer is A.V. Leeuwenhoek. Why? Because he observed the first living cell. And after that, many scientists came. There was the discovery of nucleus by Robert Brown in 1831. Then there was a discovery of cytoplasm, that is a protoplasm, that was done by Dujardin. He named it Sarcode. And in 1838, now the point comes. Now the main thing comes from where we see where we say a single line that cell is the basic unit of life. We say it very easily, but that is not a statement that was made very easily. It was a hard work of two scientists. One was Schleiden, and we can also call him that is Schleiden. It depends on the pronunciation. And he was a botanist. And who are the botanists? Botanist who studies the plant parts. And in 1838, he was studying and he was analyzing, he was doing research on the plants, that what these are made of. And in the same way, at another place, there was another scientist. He was Schwann. In 1839, what he did, he was doing the same thing. He was a zoologist. Zoologists are the scientists or who studies about the animals. So he was studying the same thing on the animals, means what these animals are made of. So in 1838, the Schleiden, and in 1839, Schwann, they were studying on the same thing, means they were having the same target, what these organisms are made of, and they came up with one result, that the Schleiden said the plants are made of cells, and the Schwann said the animals are made of cells, and later these two were combined. And it is said now the all living organisms are made of cells. So the first statement that we see, that all living organisms are made of cells. So that came from the work of those two scientists. But after that, means there were many modifications that were come into play. And in 1855, Rudolf Virchow, he was a scientist. He added many points to it. And the main point that he added was the thing which were coming into the mind of the scientist at that time, that from where these cells are coming. Means if the cells are living, so there must be some source, there must be some place from where they are coming. So what he said, these cells, means he phrased a statement that is omnis cellulae cellula, means cells arise from pre-existing cells, means the cells arise from pre-existing cells. So these were the 2 points which were combined, and now after that it was called as cell theory. Now right now we have many points. We have many points in the cell theory that will depend on the grades that we teach. But if we are focusing on 9th and 10th, so there are some points that we can have in the cell theory. For example, means as we said, all living organisms are made of cells. So, for example, if I am having this room right now.
Okay, I'm so sorry to cut you off in between, but I think this much would be enough. Thank you so much. We can continue with the rest of the interview. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now, yes. So let us start with a question and answer round.
Yeah, sure.
And I want you to elaborate your answers in such a way like how you were explaining it to a student.
Okay.
Okay. And since your topic for discussion was biology, we'll start with biology.
Sure.
The first question I have for you is, what is dialysis and when is it needed?
Sorry?
Question is, what is dialysis and when is it needed?
Yeah. See, dialysis is a mechanism, or you can say a process, or you can say a technique, which is used when there is a kidney failure. Means a person's kidney or the patient's kidney is not able to filter out the nitrogenous waste and other waste. Basically we can say for the nitrogenous waste, that is urea in the human. So when that is not filtered properly, there must be many reasons for that. Then that patient has to go under dialysis. Okay, so what is done in dialysis means there is an artificial machine. But we cannot expect all role of kidney to be completed by the dialysis machine. No, means the dialysis, what it does, it only filter out the main nitrogenous waste from the patient's blood. So what happens is, means the blood is taken out from the patient, and when it comes out of the body, it is maintained at a regular temperature, because it has to be maintained, because when it comes out of the body, it will coagulate by a natural coagulation mechanism. So it has to be prevented from coagulation, and the blood temperature has to be maintained. So after that, it enters into that machine where we have a very fresh fluid that is called dialyzing fluid. It is running through the membrane, and you can say the cellulose membrane. Okay, so what happens is, there is a chamber, and there is an inlet point, and there is an outlet point. Inlet point for the fresh dialyzing fluid, and the outlet point for the waste dialyzing fluid. So when the blood enters, means that membrane is make coil like a structure. Why? Because it must pass through the machine as much as possible. It must means go through the machine for the longer time, so that most of the waste from the blood can be filtered out. And that dialyzing fluid that comes out through the outlet, and the blood, then it is again put into the patient.
Okay. So the next question I have for you is, are the gonads endocrine or exocrine?
Means, see, the gonads are heterocline basically. Why? Because endocrine glands are those glands which secrete their secretions directly into the blood, and those secretions are hormones. So gonads secrete hormones, means, as one example, as we can say, that is the sex hormones. Means if we talk about male, it secretes testosterone. If we talk about females, it secretes progesterone, estrogen, and all. So second thing, means why it is exocrine? Because exocrine are the glands which secrete their secretions through the ducts. So what the testes are doing, that is a male gonad, they are secreting what? The semen. And what the female gonads are doing, they are secreting what? The eggs. So we can say that the gonads are heterocrine, means they are both endocrine and having exocrine function.
Okay. The next question is, are Malpighian's capsules and Bowman's capsule the same?
See, as you can say, Malpighian capsule. So Malpighian capsule is a combined name for that apparatus, which is having Bowman's capsule and the network of blood capillaries. Okay, so when they both are said at once, means that an apparatus that is called Malpighian capsule.
Okay. Next question is, what are the components of blood?
Components of blood, as we can see, basically there are two components. One is the plasma, and other one is the corpuscles. Now this plasma is what? A fluid. Means if we talk about plasma, it is about 55% around. And if we talk about corpuscles, they are around 45%. Now this 55% plasma, it contains 90% water and 10% other substances. Like, because as we know, the blood, they have to perform with different functions. Means they have the nutrients in them, the plasma have the nutrients in them, they have the hormones, they have the vitamins, they have the salts, they have the ions to maintain the pH of the blood. And if we talk about the corpuscles, which are the 45%, they have what? The RBCs, red blood corpuscles, they have the white blood corpuscles, and they have the platelets.
Okay. Next question is, what is the difference between egestion and excretion?
Yeah, egestion means the removal of undigested food from the body. Means that you have taken in, and that is not taking part in the metabolic activities of the body. So that's why the removal of only undigested food from the body is called digestion. And what is excretion? Excretion is the removal of metabolic waste. Metabolic waste are those wastes which are produced during the metabolism of the body. Because we have two kinds of reactions going on. One is anabolism, that is building up, and one is catabolism. For example, if I say means respiration. So what respiration is doing? Means it is breaking down the glucose into carbon dioxide, water, and energy. So it is a catabolism. And the carbon dioxide and water which is produced over here is the metabolic product of it. And we know that when we exhale, we exhale out the carbon dioxide and the water in the form of the vapor. So we can say the lungs are acting as what the excretory organ. So in the same way, the chief waste, that is the nitrogenous waste, that is being excreted out from the kidney. So the removal of the metabolic waste from the body is called the excretion.
Okay. Now let us move to chemistry.
Yeah.
The first question I have for you is it possible for an atom of an element to have 0 neutrons? Give a name of that element.
0 neutron, yeah, hydrogen.
Okay. Next question is, sugar crystals obtained from sugarcane and beetroot are mixed together. Will it be a pure substance or a mixture, and why?
Can you repeat it again? Actually,
Yes.
there was a clinch.
Okay, the question is, sugar crystals obtained from sugarcane and beetroot are mixed together. Will it be a pure substance or a mixture, and why?
Now, if you're talking about sugarcane, that will be having the sugar crystals. So, but if you're talking about the beetroot, or you said the beetroot,
Yes.
yeah, beetroot. So it is having the starch as a storage means material. That starch will be contained, will be converted into sugar when needed to grow. So if you are taking the glucose or sugar crystals from the sugarcane, and if you're taking the sugar crystals from the beetroot, obviously when you will mix it, okay, so those are the main, only if there are the sugar crystals, then they will be, so what you said?
The question is, will it be a pure substance or a mixture, and why?
Okay, so we are taking only the sugar crystal, na? So that's why that will be a pure substance, because pure substance.
Okay, do you want me to repeat the entire question?
No, and I got the point.
Okay.
So that will be a pure substance. Why? Because we are taking only sugar crystal, and according to science, the pure substance is what having a single kind of element or having a single kind of molecule, not having means addition with another kind of molecule. So sugar crystal will always be having the C6H12O6, that is a glucose molecule, and the fructose also, that is the fructose. So that will be a pure substance.
Okay. Next question is, name a substance which is used to cure the discomfort caused by indigestion due to overeating.
Indigestion due to overeating, any substance that can act as an antacid.
Can you give me any example for that?
Yeah, means if you talk about chemically, that is magnesium hydroxide, that is being used in many drugs. Means like Gelusil, that is the commercial name of it, or we can go for Eno. Means that is acting as an antacid, so that will neutralize the acid and the patient will be comforted.
Okay. Next question is, what is the maximum number of electrons which can be accommodated in N shell?
N shell, that is 2n square.
Okay. Next question is, why does a copper vessel acquire a dull green coating over it when exposed to moist air for long?
Yeah, because copper metal, basically that is a kind of corrosion of copper. Means copper reacts with carbon dioxide also when it is having the moist with water. It is forming what? The copper carbonate plus copper hydroxide. There is a mixture. That is what the green coating is. So it is due to the corrosion of the copper.
Okay. Now let's move on to physics.
Yeah.
The question is, what is MCB used for?
MCB is used to protect the devices from means you can say short circuiting or overload. Means if there is high voltage, then MCB will break down and the device will be safe.
Okay. Next is, what is electromagnetic induction?
Electromagnetic induction, if we define it in a very simple way, so when the electric current, you can say electric current is induced by the movement of magnet with respect to any conductor. Then when the current is produced by the movement of magnet, there will be respective movement. Means the magnet could be moved and the conductor could be in rest. The conductor could be moved, the magnet could be rest, or there must be motion of both. So when the induced current is there due to the movement of magnet with respect to the conductor, that is called what? The electromagnetic induction.
Okay. Next question is, resistance of a conductor depends on.
Resistance depends on many factors, like it will depend on the length of the conductor. If the length will increase, the resistance will increase. Now it will depend on the area of cross section, but it will be inversal, means lower the area of the cross section, higher will be the resistance. Okay, and means if we talk about this grade, that is 9th and 10th, we tell to students that basically the temperature are also responsible. But due to, as CBSE is not means having that content, that level of content, so we teach only this, but temperature is also playing the role because it changes the coefficient over there. But if we talk about only the basics, so there will be length and area of cross section.
Okay. Next question is, can a body have mass but no weight? And give reason for your answer.
Means having a body having mass but no weight. Yes.
Can a body have mass but no weight? And give reason for your answer.
Yeah, see, every matter will have a mass. But for weight, we have to see whether that body is accelerating or not. Because what is weight? That is the force due to gravity. A force due to gravitational force. That is m into g. So if g is 0, then the weight will be 0. That's simple.
Okay. Next question is, and this is also the last question.
Yep.
Can a displacement time graph be a straight line parallel to y-axis?
Displacement time graph parallel to y-axis? No.
Can you give me the reason for your answer?
Yeah, because if the displacement is on y-axis and the time is on x-axis, because we have to put the variable and the associated variable according to it on the graphs. So if the time is on x-axis and if the graph is like this, that means we are saying at the same time the body is having multiple positions. How it is possible? The same body is having the multiple position at the same time. So that's why it is not possible.
So that was all for your question and answer round.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, if you're selected for this job role, we would expect you to work with us for at least a duration of 1 year. Will that be fine for you?
Okay, sure.
Okay. And you will be put under training for a few weeks before we start assigning you sessions.
Okay.
And in this current pandemic situation, our entire team is working from remote locations from their homes.
Okay.
However, once the situation is under control and we start operating normally, we would expect you to relocate to Bangalore. Will that be fine for you?
Actually, what the thing is, I would like to add one thing over here, and I would request you all and the Byjus to consider over it. Because what the thing is, to move from Aligarh to here was the concern was my parents. Okay, and I have started, as I said, means I'm running my own. That is not a very big institute, but I have the responsibility what the students have taken the admission in. So if I get to means relocate to Bangalore, so I will request to give me some time so they can think over it. And relocating to Bangalore is not an issue, but to have a relocation with all these responsibilities, that means that I will need time for that.
Yes, I understand, and it's noted.
Okay.
Okay, then you will be working 6 days a week.
Okay.
During the training period, your work timings will be 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. with Sundays off.
Okay.
Later, when you start taking sessions, your work timings will be 2:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. with an off on one of the weekdays instead of a Sunday.
Okay.
Are the work durations convenient for you?
Work duration, if there are any other slots also?
No, this is it. The duration that I just stated.
Okay, 2:30 to 10:30 p.m. That will be means when after the training will be over. So yes. Right now I am taking the classes of the students over here. So let's see. Sorry for the interruption. There is a Google search over there started. So actually what the thing is, right now I'm taking the classes for the students over 9th, 10th and 8th, and for 3 hours that is in the evening also. But I will try, because I believe that every problem has a solution. So I will need a time to get into it, so that what possible arrangements can I make for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is all from my side. Do you have any other questions for me?
No, nothing else. That's it
Okay.
from my side also.
So our HR team will let you know about the results of the interview at the earliest.
Okay.
It was great interacting with you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for
Same here.
joining. And yeah, I will be ending this meeting now and have a nice day ahead. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye bye. Goodbye. Goodbye.